Hey everyone. You know, in the past 24 hours, news has broken that the NFL has officially granted the Los Angeles its football team in the form of the reinstated Los Angeles Rams. And the reason I say reinstated is because the Rams are heading back to Los Angeles. So, there you go. And as of right now, we'll be playing in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, just like last time. Although, if I remember right, they actually played in Angel Stadium, the original Angel Stadium, for quite some time. So there's that. But with that said, this is kind of a win-win-win situation. Now, for Los Angeles, they get an LA team back. They get a team back in LA, or at least in the LA proximity or vicinity, if you will. They get an LA team. Not only do they get an LA team, but they get the Rams back after a 21-year absence. Now, the reason I say it's a win-win-win is because the Raiders stay in Oakland as of right now, and the Chargers will find out by March whether or not whether or not they are staying in San Diego or they are LA bound. Because what I mean by that is the Chargers, they are basically their owner Dean Spanos. He's kind of the wild card in this. He's the wild card because he's got until the beginning of next year to decide whether or not he wants to go in as an equal partner or as a tenant as part of the Inglewood Stadium project for both that will be the new home of the Rams and possibly the new home of the Chargers. So he's got until January of next year to say yay or nay. Now, if he says nay and decides, hey, we're going to do whatever we can to stay in San Diego and get a stadium built here, then that opens the door for Mark Davis, who is the owner of the Raiders. Basically, Mark Davis would be the fortunate one, excuse me, would be the fortunate one out of this because he still has a chance to relocate the Raiders to Los Angeles if Dean Spanos does not decide to go in either as an equal partner or have his team be tenants along with the Rams, tenants under the Rams roof, if you catch my drift. In other words, they'd be paying rent to the Rams franchise just to play football there. Now, again, the reason I say it's a win-win-win as of right now is because right now, San Diego and Oakland still have their teams. But here's what was interesting as I was reading some of the articles. I think it was the NFL one, I believe, that said that the NFL, I don't know if it was the NFL owners, I think it was the NFL owners or somebody, did not want the silver and black returning to Los Angeles. And I think I know why. You see, win or lose, Super Bowl bound or not, playoff bound or not, the Raiders have a huge, iconic fan base, the Raider Nation. The Raider Nation themselves are like celebrities. You could talk about the 49ers having fans, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Patriots, but as crazy as it sounds, it pales in comparison. You can even talk about the Steel City having their fan base and the Packers having theirs and what have you. But whether we like it or not, it pales in comparison to the celebrity status that the Raider Nation has. And I think the reason they don't want the silver and black back in Los Angeles as of right now is because of the fact that they will take the attraction away from the Rams and possibly the Chargers. I mean, think about it. You just think about it. Think about it. You just got the Rams to go back to Los Angeles. Do you want them to be overshadowed by a team, win or lose, Super Bowl bound or playoff bound or not, that has an iconic celebrity fan base like the Raiders? Do you seriously want that to happen? Do you seriously want them to be overshadowed? I mean, let's say the Rams make it to the Super Bowl in Los Angeles. Do you seriously want the Rams to get overshadowed, Super Bowl bound by a Raider Nation? I wouldn't, honestly, if I was the NFL. If I was somebody that the NFL, if I mean, I wouldn't. Honestly, if I was trying to reestablish a team back in its home, in the birth of it, in the birth of its existence, I sure wouldn't want that. But apparently, that's what's going to happen if the Raiders get to slide in and take the deal away, take that deal that the Chargers made to Smith, as soon as January 2017. Now, the decision can also be for the Chargers and Dean Spanos as soon as March of this year. Because if they say, yeah, we're LA bound, that's pretty much confirming, yeah, we'll share a stadium with these guys, whether as tenants or partners. Now, what's interesting. What the other interesting thing about this is the NFL is willing to compensate the Raiders and the Chargers if they decide not to move. If the Chargers say no, we're not going to relocate, and the Raiders, let's say, probably don't, even though they might decide, hey, we'll do it, we'll take what the Chargers didn't want to take, and decide to go, but are not allowed to. The NFL, from what I understand, is going to compensate them with, I think $5 million each or something like that. I don't really know, but they're going to compensate them with enough financial help, I guess, or with just enough financial help to try to get some new stadium proposals made in the home markets of Oakland and San Diego. Now, that's great and that's great and everything, especially with the fact that they're doing this, I think, in my opinion, just to make sure the Raiders stay in Oakland and not come anywhere near Los Angeles. I think I think that's a I think that's a great option, but here's why I think you know here's why I think things will really start to heat up, if you will. You see, you see, a year or so ago, it was proposed that the Raiders share tenancy with the 49ers at Levi Stadium. This is what I think could happen, my opinion, that the NFL will be willing to financially support the Raiders in trying to get a stadium proposal in the Oakland Alameda County area, but in turn, the 49ers have to share tenancy, but in turn, the Raiders have to be tenants at Levi Stadium. In other words, they would have to option in or take the option, which is one of the options for the Chargers, to be tenants at Levi Stadium. You see, the Chargers, they have a choice of either going in as equal partners or as tenants. Tenants basically meaning they would have to pay rent. That would be the thing with the Raiders, and I believe that's what's going to happen. If they want to keep the team in Oakland, and obviously the fan base wants them to stay in Oakland, I believe, in my opinion, part of this deal to help subsidize them or subsidize them, easy for me to say, subsidize them for a new stadium proposal in the Alameda County, Oakland area, is for them to rent out tenancy or tenantship over at Levi Stadium, so at least they have a legit football field to play in. Now you might say, well, what about the 49ers? They got home games and everything. Well, you see, that's where it could work out. And I think that's what they're looking at. You can have the 49ers still have their home games, and while they have their home games, the Raiders can have their away games, and while the 49ers have their away games, the Raiders can have their home games. And I think, my opinion, that's what's going to come out of this. for the Raiders to have a new lease on life in Oakland in the Alameda County area, and that is for them to share tenantship with the Niners, pay rent to the 49er franchise, and to Levi's, to 49er franchise and everything, to play football there. I think that's what's going to happen. So that's what I feel is going to occur. Maybe it's just my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, and maybe they'll just get that subsidized money they need to help go with that proposal for a new stadium. Maybe they'll just get that. I don't know, but there's always a catch. When you have these kind of situations, there's always a catch, and I believe the catch is going to be, my opinion, they got to rent out space at Levi Stadium, be tenants to the 49ers, and pay rent until they get a new stadium proposed, made, and good. Basically, until something comes up. Basically, that's the way I look at it. Now, for the fans in St. Louis, I feel your pain, guys. When I lived in the Midwest, the Rams out there became one of my teams because of region rise. So I do feel your pain on that. But I wouldn't worry too much. Because you can have the NFL say certain things about the St. Louis area, saying, oh, well, financially it wasn't a good deal, wasn't a good setting. To me, I think the NFL has a lot to learn. Because St. Louis went to the Super Bowl twice when they were in St. Louis. Well, I mean, the Rams went to the Super Bowl twice when they were in St. Louis. They won one of those Super Bowls. So you can't tell me that St. Louis doesn't breed NFL championship teams. They can. Which is why I believe they're going to get a team. I believe they're going to get a team. And it could be a new expansion team. It could be an established team that's going to be in the same situation in the next few years. But I guarantee you, St. Louis is not out of the NFL world, forever. They're not locked out forever. They're not locked out, thrown out, whatever. They're still going to get an NFL team, whether it's like I say, an established team that's going to be in the same situation in the next few years, or it's going to be a new expansion team. They're going to get one. I guarantee it. You just got to wait and see. But anyway, my thoughts, these are just my thoughts on it. Do I think San Diego is going to take the bid or take the bait and go in as partners or tenants with the Rams? I can't really say, but I'd say it's almost 50-50. As far as the Raiders, same thing. But right now it looks like the NFL is very determined in my eyes to keep the Raiders in Oakland because of, like I said, of the celebrity status, especially with the Raider Nation. So, that's just my opinion on it. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But we'll just have to wait and see. But these are just my opinions on the news about the Rams becoming the LA Rams again, and would it leave the Chargers and the Raiders. Again, I think honestly, in my opinion, the Raiders are going to get that help maybe to get that stadium proposal for the Alameda County, Oakland area. But I think my opinion on it is it's going to come with a price or a catch, and that catch/price is going to be they have to be temporary tenants for maybe a few years under the 49ers at Levi Stadium. That's what I believe is going to happen. So that's just my opinion on it. I know some of you have your own opinion. And again, don't cry, St. Louis, because I guarantee you will get another NFL team. Either it's an expansion or an established team. But that's what I feel is going to happen. You'll get a team soon again. Believe me. And like I said, it's either an established or an expansion. It's going to be one of those. But let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think of the thoughts of the Rams going back to LA? And what do you think will come about with the Raiders and the Chargers? Do you think both will stay where they are? Do you think the Chargers will take the bait and go and be partners or tenants with the Rams in Inglewood? Or do you think the Raiders will have that opportunity to slide in and take that deal if the Chargers decline? Let me know what you think, and let me know what you think of the possibility that if the Raiders do stay, that the catch is going to be they have to be tenants at Levi Stadium under the Niners. Let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. I am out.